Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast, a podcast that supports local by living with our buns and guns out whenever the sun's out. I'm your host, Kamaka Diaz, and I hope the new year is going great for you and you have been able to tan those buns after a cold winter. Before we introduce our guest, I just want to remind you all to check out the Hawaiiverse app on the App Store and head to patreon.com to support us and help us fund this independently run podcast for as little as $1 a month. Okay, let's introduce our guest. Our guest today is a young entrepreneur from the Big Island of Hawaiʻi. She is the designer and CEO of Leimakani Swimwear, which is an all-inclusive brand that embodies every woman. This strong and motivated wahine has been featured in Sports Illustrated Swim and is also a professional dancer for the Miami Marlins baseball team. Most recently, she founded the Hawaiʻi Swim Show, which is Hawaii's first ever resort and swim showcase. I am happy to talk stories with her today. Her name is Kaliʻa Leimakani Kekela Wasson. Aloha, Kaliʻa. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Aloha, mahalo for having me. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to be here.
Yes, it's nice to be in Hilo with another Hilo girl.
Yes, it's so nice to be home.
Yeah, I think when I said that, I was like, with another Hilo girl. So did that imply that I'm a Hilo girl? With another person from Hilo. Okay, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to SCP for hosting us over here in their beautiful establishment. They're newly renovated. This used to be the old seaside right next to the Ponds restaurant, right? And going into Keaukaha. I actually drove right past this place this morning because I was like, I'm so used to just going into Keaukaha, yeah, just doing a beach cruise and just going straight to the beaches. And then I forgot, oh wait, I gotta go over here, so I had to turn around. But yeah, I love coming back home to Hilo. It's so beautiful.
Yes, it
Such a
is.
sunny
It
day
never
today.
changes.
Yeah, it never changes
The
for real.
people are awesome.
Yeah, and shout out to Bree. Bree is so
Yeah.
awesome.
The
Thanks for
most
letting us
beautiful
come here.
woman in and out,
Yeah.
inside and out.
All right. Well, enough about everybody else. It's all about you, Kaliʻa. Before we get started,
Whew.
because we have a lot to talk about, I gotta know where you from, which we already know, where you grad, and what was it like growing up?
Oh my gosh. So I'm from Hilo. I actually have family in Papai'iko and then some family up Waiakea. Um, I graduated from Kamehameha schools, so I was fortunate to be able to go there throughout middle school, high school. Um, I was a cheerleader since middle
Mm,
school all the way through
that
high
makes sense.
school.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed that, but we I also danced hula, so that's pretty much what I did. I wasn't
Hmm.
into sports that
Mm.
much.
Just
Although
dancing
my
for the
although my fam
sports.
yes, exactly. But cheerleading is definitely a sport
Hmm.
because it requires
I just had
a lot
somebody
of strength.
ask me that question recently. Just at like somebody's house, like, do you think cheerleading is a sport? I think quickly I said no, but then I reversed and I was like reverse, reverse in my head, and then I was like, oh, it is because it takes physical.
Yes, and it's competitive.
Yeah, and it's
I
competitive.
broke my nose
Yeah,
once.
and we
Hmm.
all see the movies. One of my favorite cheerleading movies. What is your favorite cheerleading movie?
I'll bring it on for sure.
Bring
The
It
whole
On.
thing. All
Okay,
of
there's
them.
Bring It On, but there's the other one.
Oh
The
gosh.
one with oh, what was it? Oh, I can't believe I don't remember. It was like they're in the
Um,
Olympics. I think it's the Olympics, and like she gets kicked out or something, or she tries to make the team. It's a kind of tall girl.
shoot, no, I
Long,
can't think of it.
I'm gonna find it after.
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
show you.
I probably watch
If
it.
if anybody remembers or knows the show I'm talking about, the movie I'm talking about, let me know. DM me or
The tall
like
cheerleader girl trying to make
yeah.
Olympics.
And then there's this other girl. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, but we gotta move on. We gotta move on. Yeah. All right. But so yeah, what was it like growing up here in Hilo, Hawaii?
Oh my gosh. I had a very humble childhood. I am actually the oldest of seven girls. So of course, with that being said, like I had a lot of
Mm,
responsibilities. I was kind of like their second mom, so I helped raise them. For me, I was very fortunate to have a huge ohana. Um, Very supportive and just super loving. So my grandparents, they were very helpful in like how in raising me with my mom because she had me at 19, which my mom is my hero. She's
mm,
amazing. Um, and So pretty much like I think I was the youngest until my cousin came along in the family. So I was spoiled until maybe around like age 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to share it, of course, with all my cousins. But yeah, so I pretty much just grew up in a very beautiful home. My family is big on our culture, our language. So we were raised in Olelo, Hawaii. We were raised in hula. I danced since I was 3, since I could walk. And so hula has become a huge passion of mine. And I feel like my parents really did their best to instill good morals and also just um, reminding us, how to love on others as you would want them to love onto you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I grew up. I want to say that my sisters are probably the best thing to happen to me.
You have twins, right?
No, they look like
They look like,
twins.
I
That's
thought they were twins.
La'aulu and Pu'uwai. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they look like twins, but
Oh,
they're
wow.
not. They're 1 year apart.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, so they're the two middle ones. But and then my youngest, she's only 12. No, she's
Oh,
gonna
wow.
be 12. So we have a big age
yeah.
gap.
It's
But
like me and Kanoe and Ku,
yes,
my little siblings.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's so nice to be home because sometimes when I'm away, I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of
Mhm.
their life, and they're probably like one of the most important
Mhm.
things to me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, with social media, I think it makes the world a little smaller. It makes you feel a little closer to people.
FaceTime.
FaceTime,
Mhm.
yeah. So because we have those, it does make it a little easier. But it does suck having to watch somebody grow up through a screen
Yeah.
or through social media online.
Yeah.
It's not the same. You don't get the same emotions
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
feelings. Yeah. So that's cool. So you went to Kamehameha,
Mhm.
and then what did you do after that?
So Willamette University is a pretty good like academic school. I decided to go with them because the scholarship was really good, and I didn't really know much about the school going into it.
Where's this at?
It's in Salem, Oregon. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Working 2 jobs while I was there. So I worked at the library, and then I also worked at like this hot dog
Mhm.
place nearby. And I tried to get involved, like I tried to get into the Hawaii club, which there were no Hawaiians in that club. And
Hawaii club with no Hawaiian.
Yes, I actually tried softball. I made the
Oh.
softball team.
You
and
walked on?
Yes.
But you never played softball before?
No.
What?
I mean, my family is huge on softball, and I had never done softball, but I made the team. I was in the outfield.
Huh.
And yeah, that was a great experience, but I just found out quickly that it wasn't for me.
Mhm.
So, so that semester, I also, I guess, was in a relationship at the time, so it was like a long distance thing. So, with honestly not being able to afford it on my own and not wanting to put that burden on my family, I went home. So the second, I guess the second half of that year, I went back to Kamehameha, and I actually started interning there in their operations. So I worked with a lot of like the fiscal office and also the transportation. So I did a lot of just like interning work there. They ended up hiring me, so I continued to work with them while I was just taking a break from school at the time. And then I feel like a lot of people who know me, especially in this town, know like my story and like my testimony. So I was obviously in a very committed relationship at the time. And after that year, I decided to follow this person to Washington. So I ended up going to Centralia. It's a very small town. And I continued my degree, but I did it all online. So I was, again, working 2 jobs to pay for my degree. I ended up finishing my associates in my liberals, and I worked at Nike and also at the school, at the library at the time, and was able to pay that off. And so after those 2 years, I ended up going home again. And I really had no idea what I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
at all. I feel like I was sacrificing a lot of myself for someone else, and that happens a lot when
Mm-hmm.
you love and care about someone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it wasn't until I want to say a year of living at home and honestly just like going from job to job. I actually worked at Hilo Cruise and Coffee,
Oh, no,
which I loved,
we
and
just went there this morning.
and I love everyone. I love everyone who works there. I love the management.
Mm-hmm.
It's always such an amazing environment, and it was fun. It was
Mm-hmm.
honestly one of the most fun jobs that I've had. And I also was working at like HFS at the
Mm.
time.
Wow, all different
I
variety.
really just tried different things, but I knew deep down that I wanted to start my own business.
Mm-hmm.
However, sometimes life throws you crazy obstacles and crazy, there's a lot of twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually ended up splitting with the person that I was with at
Mm-hmm.
the time after 5 years, um, which was honestly, a really difficult time for me. And we'll kind of skip over
Mm-hmm.
that part. But from that, there was a lot of growth and there was a lot of just like self discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that summer that I had, started to get on my grind as far as like my health. Um, I started kind of like getting back into journaling and everything. And I knew that I wanted to finally do something that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started really pressing into, okay, like I'm going to start a business
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I wanted to do pretty much my entire life is start a business. And I knew that I wanted to get into fashion. So, um, what happened was I kind of just started planning. I also really enjoyed designing. So I would just draw different designs. Um, and a lot of my designs are inspired obviously by home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that summer that I decided that I was going to launch Leimakani.
And what year was this?
Gosh, it was 2020.
Okay, so
Yes.
beginning of the pandemic or in the
Yes,
middle or at
pretty
the end?
much. Was it at the beginning? It was in June.
So before it started? Okay,
June.
beginning of the pandemic, not
Yeah.
before it started.
Mhm,
So this was a COVID idea?
pretty much.
Mm.
So
But you
all
also
of
knew you
this-
wanted to have a
yes,
business. You
yes.
just didn't know what it was.
It was everything that I was going through at that
Mhm.
time kind of just pushed me into that, and
Mhm.
I think I really grew a lot in my faith journey, and
Mhm.
I feel like from that I was able to just take a leap of faith
Mhm.
and produce Leimakani. So
Yeah.
that was
What do
yeah.
you think was stopping you before?
Wow. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people kind of go through this where you think like, okay, like right now is not the right time, or I don't
Mhm.
have enough money, um, and all of those things. It was everything. It
Mhm.
was definitely a financial thing because at the time I really only had, if I'm being completely honest, like 1,200 to my name, and I had taken all of that and invested it into my business.
Mm.
So I really had
All or nothing.
yes, exactly. It kind of I was in a position where I was like, I'm either gonna go for it and just have faith and keep pushing, or I'm going to, just
Mm.
still sit in my
It's
like
almost like a twist
grief.
on like go big or go home.
No, exactly.
Or you're like yours is more like go big or stay home.
Exactly. No.
Because if you make it, you have the finances,
Yes,
the
and
success to go and explore the world and
yes,
live
and
in the places
with
like you're living now.
exactly. And I knew that I wanted to be able to experience things, obviously
Mm.
outside of Hawaii. Of course, I'm never going to, like leave everything that I've grown up with here. Like I'm gonna take that with me.
Mhm.
So.
What
Yeah.
was the first time you left Hawaii?
Ooh. Mm, like to live somewhere else?
Yeah, or I mean, just the first time you left, and then
Hmm.
maybe the first time you lived away. I'm guessing that was college. Was the first time you
Yeah,
lived
so it
away?
was in 20 right after 2015, the
Yeah.
summer of 2015.
And how was that experience, like living with on the continent with
Oh
people
man.
who are different than, the culture is different, At the end of the day, yes, we're all human, but we
It
grow up in different environments, we experience different cultures, have different values. So
mhm.
what was that like? Was it hard?
There's a new show in town. Come on down to Waimanalo, relax in the Makapu'u meadows of Sea Life Park, and experience the Aloha Kai Luau. Sip on your favorite drink overlooking the bay at golden hour, or beat your friends at Ulumaika until the sun goes down. There's always a good reason to celebrate with Sea Life Park. The all-new Aloha Kai Luau is the best place to take your ohana to escape the daily routine. Treat yourself to their silver or gold seating for a 5-day pass to Sea Life Park. Follow Aloha Kai Luau on Instagram for more information about tickets and free giveaways. The Aloha Kai Luau at Sea Life Park, where there's something for the whole ohana to enjoy.
It was definitely really difficult adjusting. I feel like, I mean, I'm not being biased, but I feel like Hawaii definitely has the most, like, I mean, there's really no way to explain it. Like, aloha is really the only way that you can explain what we have compared to everybody else, because there's just something about us that we actually care about other people's well-being. And, we're not just like going through life like single-minded. We're
We're
also
not an
caring about everybody else.
individualistic society.
Exactly. And so that was a huge change for me. It was difficult, honestly, to build relationships with people. I had not too many things in common with a lot of other people, and a lot of times I would give so much of myself to a relationship or a friendship, and then not, it wasn't reciprocated. So that also made it difficult. Um, yeah, it's not easy.
I feel
But
like when I lived abroad and like outside of America, um, I feel like it was easier for me to connect with people who weren't American
exactly.
or have a culture that isn't a
A
dominant
minority.
culture. Yeah, so like
Basically.
my
Yeah.
roommate that was Puerto Rican
Yep.
or my friend that was Mexican. I lived in Madagascar and I studied abroad multiple
Wow.
times in college. And yeah, it's kind of crazy because you don't really realize how different we are until you leave
Yes.
and see how
And how
people are.
special.
How special too. I didn't
Mhm.
appreciate here until I left.
No,
But I also
absolutely.
didn't realize how different I was. Just like the way I think, the way I act, even something as simple as sharing something with somebody, with like people would be surprised. Like, why are you sharing your gift package that you got from your
Yeah.
family home? Like, I would eat that all to my and like save
To
that all for
myself.
myself. I'm like, we're sharing culture here.
Yeah.
You go anywhere and if you don't share, you don't offer something to somebody, that's rude. You know. I
Exactly.
mean, I think a lot of us do the thing where it's like, oh, you want to bite, but hoping they don't want to bite or something, or they don't take it.
But you still offer the
But you
bite.
still offer, you got to take that risk. Yeah, I've done that multiple times. Like, oh man,
My
bro,
spam was
I don't want to. Yeah, I kind of just want to eat this. Even in relationships, right? It's like, nah, you can have the last bite. Like, hopefully she says she doesn't want the last
No.
bite because I want this last bite. But you wanna be nice, right?
Exactly.
It's like this, I don't know, like it's moral thing that
Yeah.
this moral conflict that we
It's a
have.
it's a
Yeah.
requirement.
Yeah, it's aloha requirements
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so you went to college, came back here, started Leimakani, and then you ended up in Miami because you're in Miami right now, right? How did that all
Yes.
happen?
So,
And I'm guessing it has to do with your business taking off,
yes,
right?
exactly. So after I launched my first collection, it was the Lokelani collection, which is obviously Maui's, the rose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was that print, and I was blown away because I completely sold out within hours of releasing, and
You sold everything online or
yes.
okay.
So I built pretty much everything with Leimakani. I did my website.
Mm.
I mean, everything except my manufacturing. I
Okay.
do have that away. So I don't make the bikinis myself. I will do samples, but then I will send all the details to my manufacturer and they'll produce it. And so it's kind of crazy because this all just started from a dream. And I guess I was, like you said, like it's either go all in or or nothing. So after I, started Leimakani, after I did a lot better than I had expected, which, let me go back. So we did a campaign with Megan Tasaki. She was my photographer, and I love her. Yeah, shout out to Megan.
Awesome.
She's so talented.
My sister's best friend.
Yes, she's so beautiful. I love her. And so we shot Lokelani, and basically what we were trying to do is create, a body campaign. And I mean, the whole purpose of Leimakani is to provide swimwear that all of us not only in Hawaii, but everybody can feel comfortable and confident in. So a lot of my designs, my styles, that's what I cater to. And so obviously, even with social media, I'm trying to portray, real life women, real life bodies, because that is what we need. That's what at least I seen we lacked while I was growing up, because I dealt with a lot of self-confidence issues after seeing like Victoria's Secret models and all of these things. So we're trying to change the narrative there. And so what we did with our campaign, it was so simple, but it was so just meaningful. And just having 2-3 different types of women in the same bikini and seeing that they all look so beautiful and all feel confident in it. So that campaign, I believe, is what drove people towards Leimakani. And it kind of just spoke on like what we're about. So from there, after I, released that collection, I knew that I wanted to move away. And I knew I also wanted, like, I always had big goals. So I was like, you know what? We've never had, like, Miami Swim Week is a really big event. It happens every year in Miami. People from all over the world just travel there just to attend that. There was never a Hawaiian designer. I mean, there are brands who sometimes use Hawaiian words. However, no native Hawaiian designer has ever been able to, to go and portray their designs up there. So this is how I think. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, let me just release, and then 1 month later, let me just move and go to Miami so I can be the first native Hawaiian designer in Miami Swim Week. So easy, right?
I love it, yeah.
But I think that's what I was like. I keep going back to like taking that leap of faith. Like I was just on that drive, like I kept going. Like that's what I wanted to do. I was going to do it. I set my mind and I made a goal. And within, I want to say 2 months, I found a place to live in Fort Lauderdale. It was a month to month. And honestly, at the time, because it was COVID, it made it a lot easier because the rent was down and people weren't really in Florida because it was pretty bad at the time. So it made it a lot easier for me to just move out there. I also had an opportunity to dance hula professionally up there. So I think that was another reason why I was like, you know what, this kind of aligns and I think I'm just gonna go for it. So I moved out there in, I want to say June, July, August, only 3 months after I released my brand. So, and all of the money that I made, obviously from that first collection, I just poured right back into Leimakani and just started going.
You didn't use it to buy a BMW?
No, I'm very simplistic. I'm very, very simple.
Yeah, good business mindset.
I like to give to people and oftentimes forget about myself, but
that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah.
And so so I went to Fort Lauderdale. I was there from, I think, September, like late September, early October. And I immediately knew that was the right thing to do because everything started falling into place. Like it was crazy. And oh my gosh, I get emotional think about it because this was during a time when I probably could never have like even afforded my own place. Like it is just insane how your life can do like a full 360, if you really truly believe in yourself. And for me, like believing in God and having that relationship. And So my life completely changed, my perspective completely changed, and I started really like believing in myself. So that confidence kind of drove me to keep going. And I released my next collection, which was the Kino collection. And Kino, it kind of kept that momentum going, and it was about, this was fully a body campaign.
Kino is a Hawaiian word for body.
Yes, Kino, body shape, strength as well. So yeah, I mean, that word is powerful.
Yeah.
So it was really, really meaningful to me. It was the designs were super simple, very basic, comfortable. That's what I was thinking about, versatile. So what you can maybe wear up and also wear down. And it was just like nude, white, and black colors. So with this, we also had Megan shoot this with me, and we had a vision, of course, of just bringing in different women, and especially Polynesian women, Hawaiian women, having that representation.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. And so Kino it's crazy how much a photo can do. Your sister was a part of this, Kanoe.
Yeah, still a
She's
little salty you didn't ask
amazing.
me, the real model of the family, but continue.
But oh man, it was incredible. And just every time that we even work on a project, you can just feel just how, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just such an amazing feeling, and being able to see women confident in themselves to, be in front of the camera and to wear their Kino is amazing. So that is very rewarding for me. And with that campaign, actually, Sports Illustrated swimsuit came in, and they picked up that. So they're
was a big deal.
This is where everything, my gosh,
Just everything
and
just elevated.
And this was in November, so I had just released it in June.
I remember seeing it on
July,
social
August,
media.
September,
Kanoe was telling us
6
it was
months.
so cool to see that.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I was, oh my gosh.
Well, how did you find out about that? How did that Sports Illustrated come
It was
up?
an email, just a random email, and I
how
was like,
did they
"There's
find
no
it?
way. There's no way."
You thought it was like a spam email or
Yes.
something, like some scam?
Yes. Yes. And I believe they found it through this Miami-based like PR company, Paraíso. They had actually listed my brand on their website, and so I'm assuming they maybe had found it through that. And so they had asked me if we could do an interview, if they could ask me a few questions about the brand. And I was just like, what? Like, I was blown away. It was such a surreal moment, especially because I know there's such a huge platform. And I mean, I myself look up to a lot of the Sports Illustrated models, the team, because of what they stand for and what they portray. So it was right in line with what I'm trying to do with my brand as well. So it was an easy yes to do the interview. And it was just amazing because although it was COVID and obviously they just had their online magazine. So it was amazing to see representation, our language, because I obviously, like, a lot of my collections are in Olalo, because I also try to, promote. I'm obviously Leimakani, like people you have to learn how to say it.
Yeah,
I
which is your
understand
middle
it's
name.
difficult,
Yeah.
yes, for a lot of people in the mainland, but
how do
that's
people
the
say
point.
it usually?
Leimakani.
Leimakani?
But where it's a teaching moment.
Yes,
a lot of times
everything can be a teaching moment.
Exactly. That's one thing I feel like while I'm up there, that's what I try to do. If somebody's asking me about Hawaii, I don't get annoyed. I'm like, okay, like let me educate you.
Yeah,
because
we shouldn't.
They weren't educated about the authentic Hawaii. So
yeah, I mean, same things as us. We have to be empathetic and realize if we were in their shoes, or we're trying to learn about their culture, sometimes we could know absolutely nothing and come off so ignorant sometimes.
Yes, even though we don't mean to.
We don't mean to. No, I don't think anybody ever means to.
Yeah.
Most of the time people have good intentions. It just, it doesn't come off like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are currently
Ooh, sneak peek here on the Hawaiiverse podcast.
we are currently, I mean, they're great people and they have the same vision as us, and it's really awesome to be able to, hopefully build on that. So we are looking to be working with them obviously in Hawaiʻi Swim Show.
Nice.
So stay tuned on more details with that
Awesome.
one.
Yeah. I mean, we have I want to talk about a lot of other stuff, but since you brought up the Hawaiʻi Swim Show, because I just attended, was it a couple months ago, September, yeah, of 2022, last year. It was beautiful. It was very well done. I was very impressed with you and Taylor, two young girls putting on this whole thing. I know you had a lot of help from people, but it was so cool to see that. Like you said, the representation, the local people walking in there, local designers, brands, like all of it just coming together, and coming together after a really long, hard year. This is the first year where things really
We're
opened
actually
up
out.
from COVID, so we're
Yeah.
able to come together, celebrate.
Yeah.
These designs, the culture. You did a beautiful hula right in the beginning. I brought my fashion to the place with my house
Oh
slippers.
my gosh.
That was probably the highlight of the event.
The highlight of the show.
Yeah. But yeah, let's tell
Next
us.
year, house slippers.
House slippers only. It's called fashion, okay? Learn fashion, okay?
I didn't think it was house slippers at first. I was like, oh, that's bougie. What is that? And then I realized
My sister, I sent it to my sister because
she exposed
it was a
him.
black tie event. Yeah, is that what it's called? Black
Yeah.
tie event?
All black tie.
I've
yeah.
never been to a black tie event, but I had black pants. I had like an aloha shirt which wasn't fully black, but I thought, oh, it has black on it, so it counts.
Oh
And
my
then I didn't have shoes, but because all I wear is my local slippers right over here. And then I was like, frick, I don't know what to wear. And then in my brother and sister-in-law's house here, my sister-in-law's mom, Auntie Kaula, former Miss Aloha Hula, just shout out to Auntie Kaula, Kamahele. She has these black house slippers, like these slip-ons. And I was like, what if I just wear this? It kind of looks fancy. I don't think anybody will know what it is. And if anybody asks me, I'll just say it's fashion, So I wore it. I don't think anybody noticed it really, but I was honestly the one pointing it out. Like, I was so proud of it. Like, look at my house slippers. Like, this is so cool. And it kind of like, you wouldn't guess it was
Yeah, you
house
wouldn't.
slippers unless you like really looked at it. But yeah, like I said, it was the highlight of the event. Everyone was talking about it. Okay, but enough about that. So tell us about the event because it went really well in my opinion.
Wow. Hawaiʻi Swim Show. I'm still months later still trying to put it into words because it was one of the most fulfilling moments, I would say, of my life, because to see how many people came together to put this together in our community, and also just see how many people were so excited to obviously have something where they can share their talents and their passion was just amazing. So and there was never a moment. It just goes to show how amazing Hawaii is. There was never a moment of conflict, like ever. I mean, Taylor and I behind the scenes it was crazy, but but that was just what we had to do to get everything done. But there was no conflict. Everything ran so smoothly. Everyone worked together so well. The models, we had 60 models. No issues with any of them. They didn't have any drama. They were basically like going home to whatever state or town they're from, and they're still connected, and it's like a family. It was just like one big family.
What it seemed like, especially with seeing the stories behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I heard that one model Kanoe was a bit troubled though, huh? Probably you shouldn't
she
bring her
did give
back.
me a hard time in fittings. Yeah,
you should just hire her brother next time.
Just kidding. She's the best.
You know what I was talking to somebody about, because you had male models as well in board shorts.
Which next year we need more male models.
No, if you wanna
stop being shy.
But we were talking about, because it's body positivity, right? All inclusive. So it had like all inclusive females. There's some like bigger ladies. Just fun. There were some killing it. There's that one super cute one. She's like, I think she has like kind of like curly or like a fro or something.
Tiara.
Is that her?
I believe that. Oh, or Abiba.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah.
But she was just like she's like super smiley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we love seeing her go. She's like,
Aw,
has such good
smiley.
energy, and she's just like, she seems so confident and just like strutting down that runway.
Aw.
And she modeled for your other designs.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was Tiara.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
that was her. But
Yeah.
yeah, so seeing that, and then we saw the guys, and most of them was like chiseled, yeah. But we're thinking, you know, because you know what's in
No.
these days, dad bods.
We do, yes. We do need dad bods. Yes, we need men inclusivity.
Yeah, that's my only
what we need,
feedback is
so-
men inclusive. We want some
Yes.
dad bods. I don't
Yes.
think we want like, you know, some or like Jeremy Kalima. Jeremy Kalima, you know Big
Yes,
Germs, the
yes,
videographer.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
him.
Put
He
him in a
would-
suit. Well, he's amazing behind the camera. He's amazing behind the
he's
camera.
a
But
wizard.
I'm
he's
sure
a wizard.
we could put him in front
I
of the
would
camera.
tell him like I gotta see you.
He's
in
so
there,
gonna
like,
laugh at
yeah.
this.
That would be so funny, but also amazing. So I don't want to make it a joke.
Yeah,
because
we even had age inclusivity. I'm not sure if you noticed that.
The
Yes.
older lady, yeah, I
Mhm.
remember that, and a
Which
pregnant
was
lady.
awesome. Yes.
There's all
mhm.
shapes and
We wanted to
sizes.
make sure that
Colors,
Yeah.
everything. What else did you have?
backgrounds,
Diversity, ethnicities.
Yeah.
What else could you cover? You don't have anyone with glasses on.
No.
You don't have any nerds. Maybe you gotta cover that one next time. I didn't see anybody with Pokemon cards. No geeks.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta focus on that next
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
I'll take that into
I want
consideration.
to see somebody like with a Pokemon chain with a Charizard, just right, like a Jake Paul. He just has
Okay.
a chain with a Charizard.
I will remember that. This
More
year.
feedback.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email, a
Okay.
5-page email.
Perfect.
Yeah, about
Perfect.
all my
I'm not
great
sure
ideas.
we'll read
Pro
through them, but
bono,
we-
no, I just read through them. Take your time. Take a couple days to read through them, through early, and then just use all of them. Free. I'm doing this for free. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Free. You don't.
Thank
it's
you.
Free of charge.
Appreciate
right?
it. Yeah. We-
So what was the aftermath of
Oh,
that,
man.
and like what were you most what are you most looking forward to for the next one?
we just plan on, and for those who maybe haven't heard of Hawaiʻi Swim Show, it was basically what we did was put on well, what inspired this obviously was Miami Swim Week, because we see how amazing it is. The opportunities that I was given after Miami Swim Week was amazing. And so what I wanted to do is obviously bring that and all the connections that I've been able to make being in Miami, and bring that to Hawaiʻi, because we just have such an amazing, talented group of, obviously Hawaiian. I mean, we have a big melting pot here in Hawaiʻi, but there are just so many talented people here. And I know a lot of times it is scary to go beyond the islands. And so I just wanted to be able to bring opportunities here, and bring visibility here to Hawaiʻi, obviously, with swimwear, resort wear. We should be the center of that. And so bringing all of that here is our goal, and we want to create, obviously bring more visibility to our smaller brands, our local brands, so that they can grow as well. And that's pretty much our goal every year, to just get bigger and better, and to be able to bring in, whether it be tourism as well, because a lot of people in Miami, it brings thousands of people there. So to be able to bring that here to Hawaiʻi and have this event just become an amazing annual event would be our goal. And on top of that, we're able to share with people, obviously, our aloha, and they are able to see the amazing Polynesian, Hawaiian models that we have, and that also helps their careers, so it's just us growing and building together as a community. That's our goal. And the focus is fashion, but with the 3-day event that we did, we actually ended up, so Thursday we started it, and Thursday was basically just a little mixer.
Or you had a live stream thing,
And then Friday was the local brand. So we had 8 local designers. They all went back to back to showcase their designs, and this was all at the old Wainakua Executive Center, which is owned by Ola Brew, we love Ola Brew.
Shout out to them. Locally owned.
they have great plans for that place. It's going to be amazing. And then Saturday and Sunday, we had the VIP designers, and they had their separate shows. All while this was going on, we had pop-up at the Hilo Hawaiian.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and we honestly got really good feedback from that. We had the designers saying that they were able to make a lot more than like any other vendor pop-up that they participated in.
Yes,
or
I
even
remember because I bought my girlfriend a very expensive bikini there.
Smart guy.
So they must have made a lot of money.
But it was amazing, and it was we're just hoping to obviously bring more people, reach more brands and everything for these next coming year. Obviously, these next coming years. So we're really excited to keep growing.
Nice.
And we have something really exciting planned this next year.
Yeah, I'm
But
excited
we
to
can't
see
let
what
all
that
our
is.
secrets out.
No, you just gotta follow along, keep supporting. Yeah.
Um,
What issues or what kind of things did you see in the Miami Swim Week or like these big national brands that you think were lacking that you wanted to change or address in either the swim show or your brand? I mean, you kind of addressed it earlier, but let's go into it a little bit deeper before we get into Instagram questions.
So what I witnessed when, in Miami, which is also something, I'm not going to lie, it's something I struggle with because it is an environment that I'm completely, like, even after being there for almost, I think, 2.5 years now, it's still very foreign to me. It's never really going to be home, and it's just very different.
Did you try to align your chakras and match your horoscope?
No, I
might
haven't
help.
tried that.
Yeah, crystals.
No,
I
haven't tried that.
Okay, give it a shot.
And starts blessing the house. No. But I mean, although it's brought me so many, amazing opportunities and new experiences, it's still very different. And so what I noticed in obviously the Miami Swim Week was that it's a bunch of Instagram models, or I don't want to say fake bodies, but like some
artificial.
Some artificial.
It's the fancy word for fake.
Inauthentic. And I'm all about, I love my natural, I love my artificial, I love everyone. But it just has, and everybody there is kind of out for themselves. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to.
And that's not who we are.
That's not.
As our
and what people don't understand, especially in like the swimwear industry, yes, I'm not even going to say it's a competition, because it's not. I feel like everyone has their own niche and everyone has their own unique thing that they bring to the table. And so with that being said, it's never a competition. So it shouldn't feel like one, I feel like that's what we should all think about when going through life. Like, we're our own unique person. We shouldn't be trying to compete with someone who doesn't have the same life path as us. We all have our own to walk through. So I feel like Hawaiʻi Swim Show was so completely different than Miami Swim Week in the way that everyone was just building each other up. And that is even more beautiful than winning something. You know what I mean? So I feel like just the authenticity that we had was unlike anything. And it kind of also went to show on YouTube, the girls and the different brands have millions of views on YouTube. And a lot of the comments were about like thanking us for showing an authentic women, authentic people, and not making it so posed, I guess. So that was something that definitely stands out. In Miami Swim Week, it's kind of it's all about like who how you're dressed, and it's very inauthentic. It feels like you're posed a lot of the times. Even attending it, I felt like I needed to be like
like sit up straight.
Exactly.
Basically everything I'm not doing right now.
Yeah. And I think that you know, obviously there is like we want to be able to carry ourselves well. I think that's great. But also like you want to feel comfortable and welcomed, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like for the most part that's just what we're trying to be different is just the authenticity of everything.
I feel like the whole like body positivity thing is kind of a recent thing.
Oh yeah,
Where like Victoria's Secrets, they started adopting
Rihanna,
it.
with her, like,
Rihanna. I don't know too much about the swim shows. I mean, you just see it all over the place about all inclusive stuff. Why do you think it's only coming to the forefront right now? Is it like and is it like this trend? You know how we go through these phases
there
as a society.
it does, because a lot of times, like even as girls, like we're like, oh, we want to be thick, oh, we want to be fit, we want to be this, and, you know, and it's
and then but there's a fine line, like you know, you gotta be,
that's
you can
definitely
love your body, but
yeah.
you know, we don't want to promote obesity or anything unhealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want somebody to be too skinny.
It's always gonna be changing. So I guess, you know, obviously like the focus is really just like being happy with your body and wanting what's best for you. So if that's, you know, being healthy, whatever healthy means to you, you know. But yeah, I feel like that's always going to be a changing based off of what we take in as consumers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because like what is healthy to you, what is healthy to me? I mean,
it's all
are we talking about objectively healthy, scientifically healthy?
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of it has to do with your mental health. So I mean, if mentally you're confident in yourself, you know, you have accepted this is your body, this is what you know, how you want to look,
this is what I want for myself,
then
my health.
that I would say that is healthy, you know. You're keeping yourself healthy, but it's all about a balance in my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I wonder these days, is like, it's only, I think a lot of it has to do with social media too.
Oh,
that's why this is like a thing, because back in the day there was no social media, and there was no comparison really.
Yes.
And they say comparison is the thief of joy, right?
And so, even if we're, you know, without trying, like it happens. You have to really just catch yourself and start. Like for me, I'll sometimes just turn it off and take a break, because I also will be comparing myself to other people, and I don't like that.
As a business or like physically?
All together. Yeah. Sometimes as women, just seeing, and what you see on social media is not always obviously real life.
Yeah, and so right. What? That's real life. What are you talking about?
And so of course, like, you know, you're comparing yourself to something that's not even real. Yeah. So it's sometimes it's unhealthy, and although for me, I obviously need to continue, you know, to you know, promote for my business, my brand, what I stand for. I try my best to make sure that I'm staying true to myself in my platform. But there's times I definitely need a break. I need to turn it off. I need to reset. I need to journal. I need to do my affirmations. You know, I need to my devotions, everything, because it's a lot. And really, I guess it's just having that strength to, you know, reach inside yourself and continue to just grow inside, so that you're not comparing yourself to outside.
Nice. That's beautifully put. All right, so let's get into Instagram questions. Okay. All right. This first one comes from something_like_Olivia. She wants to know, who is your biggest inspiration?
Ooh, I love Olivia. But okay, my biggest inspiration would definitely have to be I'm gonna say my mom. I want to say that she's my biggest inspiration, my biggest hero. And really it comes down to how hard she worked in giving me and my sisters the life that we have now. And I mean, a lot of the reasons why I do things is because, and the way that I do it is because of her. Like she constantly will be encouraging us to go like above and beyond. She wants us to try everything. She wants us to, you know, obviously experience so many different things. And honestly, I've seen some parents who, you know, sometimes hold their child back because they don't think it's safe or certain things like that. But my mom has always pushed me to just follow my dreams. And she's always been there to support me. On top of that, she inspires me because she was a 19-year-old mother taking
Wow.
care of me while working 2 jobs, and she got her master's degree.
Shout out to mom.
She's crazy. She's crazy good. And then, I mean, she had so many daughters after me, all of my beautiful sisters, and she just continues to work so hard for her family. She puts herself last all the time. So I want to say she is definitely my biggest inspiration.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mothers are amazing.
They're I give them
Yeah.
so much credit.
My mom went back to nursing school and got her RN license after having 5 kids.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
they
so
don't
similar,
stop.
yeah.
They don't stop.
It's crazy what they're capable of. Anyone
Women.
is capable of,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, if you just
Anyone.
set a goal, put your mind to it, don't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking about not giving up, the next question comes from Sierra Tempura. She wants to know, how do you stay motivated when you get in a funk? You seem like you're always on the grind.
Wow, that's a really great question. So it's funny because honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I feel like right now I'm in a funk. Mentally, emotionally. Sometimes you just get to the point where you're kind of questioning like what am I doing? Am I living in my purpose? Am I living true to myself? And on top of that, that kind of results in me being unmotivated because if I'm not really having that goal in front of me, then of course I'm not going to have the drive to really get anywhere. You know what I mean? So what I've been working on is really obviously just like journaling how I feel every day and kind of just getting that out there so that you don't carry that anymore. And this is just what I do. Sometimes, everyone's different. And of course, like I do my devotions and everything. And I just really press into reminding myself who I am. And that really gives me the drive to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm capable of so much more. You know what I mean? And I think, I guess just like resetting, doing things that you enjoy, and I think just like valuing life as a whole, that helps you become motivated to want to better yourself and keep going. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I do. My life gets really hectic and really busy. And the last thing I want to say is going back to gratitude. I feel like when you remind yourself where you came from and like how much you've worked to get to where you are today, that will motivate you, because that is every reason to keep going. Because if you've come this far, you can go even further.
So what happens when you've come this far and then you're at a point where it's like, I'm happy, some would say I'm content, but sometimes contentness could make you idle, where you could see contentness as like happiness, but it also sounds like you're almost stagnant sometimes, like I'm happy here.
Yeah.
What else do I have to do? Like I don't want to mess anything else up, and this could be in like a lot of aspects in life. It's like, how do I keep leveling up,
That's true.
Yeah.
Again,
and you don't have to have an answer for this.
Yeah, you don't.
We're figuring
like
it out as we go.
Exactly. This is something I feel like everyone goes through, and I mean, I myself have gone through that so many times. I always try to like change up things, try new things, because I feel like that also helps. Yeah.
So just like trying to switch it up. I mean, I think
you learn a lot about yourself that way. Like I tried boxing class, or
yes,
I tried dancing class, and now I'm a professional dancer. I had no idea.
I think trying things is the most important thing, because even if you don't like something, you find out what you don't like. And finding out what you don't like is just as important as finding out what you do like.
Yeah, exactly.
Because okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna work an office job from 9 to 5 because I hate sitting down. I hate typing on the computer. I hate sitting still for too long,
Yeah.
And then maybe you try something else and you find out that you love it.
Exactly.
And it doesn't even have to be the exact thing that you love, but different aspects, different, different like criterias, different like facets of each thing can lead you into what you do like.
For sure.
You just find out certain small things like, I worked at the movie theaters, do I want to be a professional popcorn scooper? Do I want to rip tickets? No, but maybe I love customer service.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
I love
helping
talking
people.
with people, helping with people,
That's true.
showing them to their,
That's
you know,
true.
their movie theater, or you know, I really love sweeping up the popcorn, and maybe you go into some like cleaning service, you know. So there's a
Exactly.
lot of little things that you can get from all the things that we
Yeah.
do and different
Life is all about
careers.
learning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that you can
learning
just add
yourself,
to
learning.
whatever you want, and you know, help you find your path.
Exactly.
So yeah, so maybe if you're stuck, take a new class.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, try something new.
If you're feeling stagnant,
Yeah.
yep. Switch it up a little.
Switch it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is. I think I feel like I'm happy with what I've accomplished in life. So I almost feel like I don't need to keep doing things. So it's like, what motivates you after that? And I think just having something to push you, like motivate you, like maybe it's just proving yourself like I can do more,
Yeah.
or I wanna make somebody happy, or I wanna, you know, prove to the social my fans or
Yeah.
whoever it is, my family, friends, that I'm not just the race to 50K guy, you know. I'm not just a professional dancer. I'm not just like I think athletes go through this a lot,
Yeah.
where by the time their career ends, it's like what do
What
they do
next?
now, right?
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
they didn't prepare for that, it's then, you know, it gets a little depressing.
You're like, I've accomplished all of these things.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what?
Yeah, and known as an
No.
athlete, so my whole life is an athlete. So without the sport that I love, what am I?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think we all go through these things.
Yeah.
But you know, I think just having something to look forward to, finding something that you love outside of like your main thing,
Yes.
I think is very important, you know, whether that's like a hobby, or you know, some people, you know, they're a professional
Or
athlete,
passion.
and then they end up just loving to knit,
Yeah.
you know, or they just love collecting cards.
Why
you know,
not?
like to find something like that you love. It could be very niche. It could be niche. That's also a weird word. Niche. Niche. But yeah, just something like that where you can, you know, it keeps you occupied.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're looking
Yeah.
for, things to keep us occupied.
That's
that
true.
that isn't Netflix, right? Or drugs or alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah. We stay away from
Anyways,
those.
on to the next question. Kaloa Robinson wants to know, what do you think were elements of, shout out to my stepdad, Kaloa Robinson. What do you think were
love him.
elements of Hawaii that weren't being highlighted in the bikini industry? Example, colors used, bikini cuts, materials, etc.
Okay. Did he say in the Hawaii industry?
So what do you think elements were, or what do you think were elements of Hawaii that weren't being highlighted in the bikini industry?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to say that a lot of it would have to be, I want to say the prints. Because what we don't realize is a lot of these designers, they're doing this like hand drawn, or also just like sketching it out on like Photoshop, or but basically it's inspired by what they see, you know, in Hawaii. And I don't think we highlight this enough, because in the mainland, a lot of times I think what they try to do is replicate, to be honest, what they see in Hawaii, or like smaller brands. I've seen this many times, because actually Shein did a replica of my first print, and found it. Yeah, it was all over Shein, and they were actually making sales. And that was a print that I did from scratch.
Is that
So
a
there's
lawsuit waiting to happen kind of deal?
Yeah, we won't go there.
Not allowed to talk about it.
I had to do, yeah. But I want to say that like the heart and everything that goes behind the designs, obviously, because not saying that we don't like too much material, but because it's super sunny here, a lot of the cuts and the styles are you know, a lot smaller, and so in order to get the best tan, in my opinion, so with I think those styles and those cuts, and also no, I think that's pretty much,
That's basically
yeah,
what
that's
it is,
pretty
yeah.
much it.
Yeah, just the cut. And when you're saying, when you say cut, you're talking about like the side, like the really tiny bikinis versus like the diaper bikinis.
Yes, 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 exactly.
Okay. That's how you know if a person's from here or not. The type of bikini they wear.
That's true.
A lot of
But then of
college
course
girls
we have to
come
have our,
here.
coverage for the mamas too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You got your family bikini,
Yeah.
you got
Oh,
your
yes.
Sandy's beach bikini.
that.
Okay. It's a good question. Next question comes from Kylie Renee. There's a bunch of repeated letters. Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Oh, Kaylee.
Mm-hmm.
K, 2 A's, Y, L, 2 I's, Renee, 2 E's. So, Kaylee Renee.
Renee. I
Renee.
think.
The multiple letters is messing me up. I know it's Kaylee, but when you add the K, it makes me want to say Kai.
Kylie.
All right. Anyways,
Renee.
she wants to know overcoming imposter syndrome.
Yeah. So,
Do you ever experience that? Especially
um,
in a place that could be seen as superficial, like Miami.
I definitely have experienced this for
Mhm.
sure. Whether it be, well, there was also, I want to say, like, first of all, being in Miami, I constantly question, like, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Because obviously my heart is here in
Mhm.
Hawaii. So it does make it hard sometimes, especially because my family's home, and sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I where I need to be in life, I guess, and am I in line with, again, my purpose? So I've definitely experienced that, and I think I really have to, like, go back to just what I think it's just important to realize that everything that we go through in life has a purpose.
Mhm.
And every door that is opened, every person we meet, like, it all has a purpose to lead you up to where you are today and where you're going to be the next day. So just kind of being, I guess, just having faith in that, and understanding that where you are now is where you need to be. I mean, it's honestly really an, like, internal thing. Another, I guess, example of, like, imposter syndrome is when I honestly I felt like sometimes, when you achieve success, or when you have gotten to achieve your goal, and you're like, okay, like, this is what I've always wanted, but it just doesn't feel real, or it doesn't, it doesn't feel like wow, like, is this actually, like, real life? And I've definitely been in that situation, or not. Sometimes it even a lot, you feel like you're not good enough to be in that position, or you're like, okay. But again, I guess just, like, going back to reminding yourself who you are, your values, and really just, I mean, I know it's hard, but, like, staying in the moment, and just, looking back on, like, what brought you there. Yeah.
Yeah. You
You
ever get
experienced that?
intimidated?
Oh, all
Like,
the time.
because you got these big brands that have probably been around for a long time. We're using, like, probably very experienced models.
I
And
definitely.
you're like, oh man, do I belong along these giants?
Yeah, but also I use it as, fuel, because it's like, okay, I want to get there, and I want to, well, even get better, so seeing that it is possible, it's like, okay, like, you can do that and have that for yourself as well. So it's really just a matter of putting in the work.
Yeah, you were right about to ask me if I
Experience.
imposter syndrome. I think the best way to counter it, I think it's the same thing as being nervous and excited, because
Yeah.
being nervous and excited comes from the same part of your brain, and there's really no physiological difference in our body between being nervous and excited. So when you're feeling imposter syndrome, I think a good way to counter that is faking it till you make it. Even if you think you do belong to be there, but you realize that a lot of people are just doing that. They're just faking it. They don't know
Oh,
as
that
much as you think they do.
in Miami, that's a
Yeah,
big
because
thing.
like
Yeah.
for me being a teacher in the Peace Corps, I'm teaching these kids English. You know, I had to learn how to teach English. They don't know
You're
that I
like, am I
just
even
learned.
qualified for
Yeah,
this?
they don't think they don't know. I just learned how to
But
teach
really though,
English a couple months
a
ago.
lot of life, you're never gonna feel qualified. You're never gonna
Yeah.
feel like enough. I constantly go through that now that I think about it with dance. I show up in a dance class. These girls have been doing this for years since they could walk.
Mhm.
I show up and I'm like 1 year in and doing a class, but I'm passionate about it, you
Mhm.
know, and I'm performing because
Yeah.
I feel it feels good for me, but little do they know I'm a beginner, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that too, I'm like, oh my God, like they're so much better than me, but they don't see that, you know?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I think with something physical like a sport,
mhm.
it's I don't want to say you don't see it as much, but it's tangible. Like you
Yeah.
can see
Mhm.
like if you're not as good as people. If you're playing a
Mm.
sport,
Mhm.
you know you're not as good as somebody when you lose
Yeah.
50-0 in something, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like an imposter syndrome. Like you're gonna learn the hard way whether you belong there or not.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
So whether you're like a D3 athlete or you think you're a D1 athlete, you play a D1 athlete and you just get annihilated. You're like, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought.
Mhm.
But it's something where it's just like a business or an
Mhm.
occupation that isn't like a sport. I think it's a little harder to really see that.
Again, I just
Yeah.
thought of another example, like
Mhm.
Leimakani.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm like, there's so many other local brands, but what was it
Like
that
what makes me,
mine
yeah, what
was
makes me
in Sports
special.
Illustrated, or what,
Yeah.
like, and I mean, like, yes, everyone's special, but I feel like it's really like it's not that. It's really just how you, go about life. If a door has opened for you, that door was meant for you. Like
Mhm.
that's it.
Yeah,
You
yeah. And
know?
like going back to what you said earlier, it's you're where you're supposed to be,
Mhm.
whether you feel like you deserve that or not.
Yeah.
Life has made it or has aligned to, make you walk on this path,
Mhm.
and you ended up here for a reason. So
Yeah.
instead of questioning, do you deserve to be here? It's like why. Think about why you're
Yeah.
here.
And then
What
what am
is
I
your
gonna do
purpose?
with it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this
Okay,
opportunity
this was
that you
given
have?
yes. Wow,
Instead
that
of
is so
like,
good. Yeah.
yeah, instead of like, oh
Mhm.
man, I don't deserve this. I'm just not gonna do anything. Or
Wow.
yeah, just take advantage of that.
Mhm.
Accept life as it is.
Mhm.
That's what it is. It's all part of the human experience.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. Last question comes from your friend, something like Olivia, something underscore like underscore Olivia. How do you deal with copycats?
Ah. Oh my gosh. I've had
Darn
to.
copycats.
You have to be flattered, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with this several times. Whether it be something as crazy as my print or my style. And I know it because like, when I see it, because I've done these styles from scratch and really took the time to do that. And at first, you get really upset. But then you remember, like, it's flattering, first of all. And second of all, like, I can go back to what we said, but like what's meant for you is meant for you. So it shouldn't bother you that much, because I feel like if they're going to be copying you, then whatever is going to come of that is what's meant for them. And whether it's good or bad, that's out of your control. So
Do you believe in
but
karma?
ooh.
Like,
I do believe that what you sow, you will reap.
mm-hmm.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
I think that when you put good things into people, when you put good energy, when you put good mana, whatever it is, that you believe in, and when you wish well upon someone, then it'll come back to you. And exactly like how you treat someone, it would also come back to you. So I mean, I live by that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how you deal with copycats.
Exactly.
I got some issues with copycats. There's like this ukulele brand that just used my name
What?
for their
Oh my
ukulele.
God. I
There's
was
this
like, what?
singer,
Really?
Israel, that he just
Use
used
half of your name?
my
Oh
name
my
and half of his
gosh.
name to get really famous. It's annoying.
Yeah,
These
I know.
copycats, these Kamaka
We
copycats.
all deal with these things
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Kamako
Some more
Kulele.
than
Like you couldn't think of a
others.
different name. They just had to use my name. Didn't give me any royalties. Whatever. We'll move on because I'm gonna be the bigger man
Yeah.
here.
See?
All right.
We move forward.
All right, so mahalo everybody for the Instagram questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming to the back end of the podcast, and I like to dive into culture a little bit. I mean, we're both native Hawaiian and from Hilo, so we experience a lot of the same things. How do you stay connected to your culture being so far away?
Ooh.
Instagram.
Wow. Gosh. Yeah. No. I feel like this is something I kind of like struggled with, obviously, and then obviously like with hula was a big part of my life, and so now that I'm doing different styles of dance, it also I feel like sometimes pulls me away as well. So I'm gonna go back a little. When I grew up, I mean, I look like this, and I really only identified as Native Hawaiian. I'm also Portuguese, and I think like a mix of other things, but I really only have ever known Hawai'i. So growing up, in a bilingual household, speaking Olelo Hawai'i, and also growing up with all of us dancing hula, including my mom, who's actually now kumu of Halaoakoa Kanilehua. So
Awesome.
she, we all kind of grew up in that environment. And so a part of me feels like it was like lost when I moved far away. And actually when a lot of people would look at me, they wouldn't really think that I would be able to olelo or I would be able to dance hula like I do. And so, but I always loved to, prove them wrong.
Exactly.
But I was always prejudged on that. And it was hard sometimes because, that was who I am. And I didn't know how to portray that a lot of the times. But, I guess for me, that's why I have Leimakani, and that's why I have Hawaiʻi Swim Show, because that's my opportunity to go back to my roots. I'm very blessed to have a family who will remind me and will pull me back if I'm somehow getting a little out of reach. They will always pull me back in to remind me of who I am and my values and what we stand for. And I guess that's why I said like with Hawaiʻi Swim Show, that was the most fulfilling, is because I'm going back to my roots. I'm making sure that everything that I'm everything that I'm doing out there and everything that I'm learning out there, I'm going to take that, but I'm going to bring it back here. You know what I mean? So, so it was fulfilling because I feel like that's my purpose is to obviously take who I am, my family name, my culture, my language, our people, and like represent that well, and also come back and apply and keep creating opportunities for everyone else. So yeah, I mean, having amazing base, a foundation with my family, like that's been able to keep me pretty grounded.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a great answer. I think a lot of us can relate to that. Do you think because you don't look stereotypically Hawaiian, you're at a disadvantage, or you have to try harder to prove that you're Hawaiian?
When I was younger, I thought I did. I thought I had to, and I guess like even going to Kamehameha schools like that, obviously like you have to have Hawaiian blood to go there, and I feel like I would, especially because my sisters, they look very Hawaiian. Like when you look at them and you look at me, you're like, wait. But I think now that I realize like or also that I've just gotten older, like I've gotten more mature, like I don't feel like I have to work that hard anymore. But I did growing up. in my teens. Oh my gosh, I remember that was definitely a struggle for me.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing, especially growing up very local and like,
Yeah.
and it's hard because when you grow up with the culture and speaking Hawaiian as well, it's like, deep inside of yourself, like you're so Hawaiian. I'm on Kanak, I'm native, but my outward appearance doesn't say that,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not gonna put
My outward appearance.
a stamp on my forehead that says I am Hawaiian, right?
Yeah.
It's
I guess
like
it's also just
trying too
how
hard.
you live. Like people will see the difference, I guess, in how
Exactly.
you act and how you live, and they're like,
Yes.
something's special about you. So what is that? And then you're like, oh, I'm
Yes.
from Hawaii, you know.
The way you carry yourself, the way you do
Exactly.
things,
Mhm.
that's what separates you as a haole and
And
as a
Hawaii.
Hawaiian or local to Hawaii. And not even a
Amen.
local, just somebody who lives in our ways. Because as soon as I hear a story, somebody's telling a story about somebody that did something, I usually say at the end, was it a haole person? 98% of the time, it's a haole person. And it doesn't, and I'm not saying haole as just because it's a white person. Majority of the time,
It's
they
just
are
someone who
white. They just happen to be white, but it's a
know.
foreigner. It's somebody
Yeah.
who just doesn't know our culture, who, maybe didn't take the time to educate themselves on how we live. And it happens all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
But we won't get too far into that. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, mahalo for sharing that. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that, and if you're struggling with that too, you're not the only one.
Yep.
It's the most Hawaiian-looking person could be the least Hawaiian person
That is true.
ever, and the least Hawaiian-looking person could be so native. So you never know. Treat everybody the same.
Yep.
Just live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the vision of your company, and like how will you know you've reached success?
Leimakani.
Yeah, Leimakani.
Wow. Okay. So, wow, this is a really good and deep question. Leimakani was, I mean, its foundation was kind of like built off of obviously like what I went through growing up, and obviously like dealing with self-esteem issues and whatnot, confidence issues. Like I didn't wear a bikini until like in front of people until I did my first pageant when I was like 15 or 16.
Miss Congeniality.
That was the second one, I think.
second.
No,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
but
know you
I
did
did
multiple.
Teen Lehua. Yeah, that was a while back. But when I would go swimming and stuff with my family, like I would always want to like cover up. I was never confident enough to really wear a bikini.
That's tough too when you live here where you're always going to the beach.
Exactly. And so once I broke out of that shell, then I was like, okay, wow, like learning to like love myself and my body. It was a whole journey, and I mean it still is, and I think for every woman it's like that. But Leimakani is really, it just stands for all women. I feel like what I try to do is just to create swimwear that obviously like a lot of people in Hawaii, we're more big boned. So it's hard to find a bikini that actually fits and flatters your body. So what I try to do is keep that in mind when I'm designing everything. But yeah, I mean, Leimakani is also like the vision for Leimakani is basically to just take well, I try to take like our designs, and it's obviously inspired by Hawaii, and then also keep culture, language in it, but be able to expand and show that to the world and everyone else, which also will help educate them. It also stands for, well, a big thing for me is women empowerment. Just being able to kako'o, like support everybody, support other women in own businesses, and also just being that environment for all of them to come in and feel included, So I feel like Leimakani is definitely more than a swimwear brand. It's more, I'm trying to create like a community of women. And to be honest, it's a lot of pressure sometimes because you know your purpose is like so big and that's what you want,
People
but then
are
you're
counting on
yes,
you
and you're
to,
like,
you know,
how
do
am I going to
something.
continue? How am I
Yeah.
going to and in an authentic way. So sometimes you do have to like take that pause and it's like, okay, like, am I even sticking to my message? Am I showing, you know, what I stand for, or am I selling bikinis right now? So it's always a requirement to take that step back and be like, okay, like, this is like, you know, more than a swimwear brand. It's my mission. So this is what I'm going to do. And that comes with obviously like more campaigns, which is just creating that message in a visual way so that you can, you know, use that as your platform. That's the way other people are able to understand it. So, sorry, your second part was the goal.
Then how would you know you've reached success, you know?
Oh gosh.
What does success look to you in,
you know, that's
2
funny.
to 5
I don't
years?
know when I will ever feel like I really like I feel like the way that I was raised, you never really reach like, so I mean, you're successful in all the little things, you know what I mean? So you can keep going and there's never like an end. But
what is success to you then?
Yeah, with Leimakani, I would say that I definitely feel like I kind of like would have different like layers of success, but if my ultimate success would be to just reach as many people as I can and have Leimakani become a global swimmer brand, or even more than that. You know, like, I want to obviously expand. I actually experimented with it, but I will be bringing it back into athletic wear, athleisure wear.
Nice.
So, you know, sport, active, and swim. And I do want to see it in stores all over the world. I mean, I don't personally want to open up my own store. I know that for a fact. I want to keep it e-commerce, but I do want to see Leimakani in Paris, in Australia, like, just because then they'll be seeing this brand and they're like, okay, wait, like, what is this? And then they'll go to, like, you know, the foundation of it. And so that's what I feel like success would mean to me with Leimakani. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. What do you think is the biggest challenge you faced in your line of work?
Oh, gosh. A lot of the back end details. So communication between your manufacturer, between like different segments of the business, you know, just everything, just have the flow of everything, I guess. Especially with me living such a busy life, and I'm trying to also, I'm in my mid-20s, so I'm trying to experience like all these different parts of me, all these different parts of life. But then I have my business, which is also exciting, but at the same time, I'm trying to balance all these other things. So I want to say, like, that is probably the biggest struggle for me right now, because if I believe that if I want to truly reach success with Leimakani, I might need to focus in on that. But right now, that's not my season. You know, like, my season is exploring all of these other parts of me as well. So finding that balance right now is definitely the biggest struggle for me.
Yeah. I think one quote that I like to think about is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So it's basically, you know, what is your priority at that time? I think a lot of our mid-20s, early 20s is going fast.
Yeah.
Trying to just discover everything, get as much experience as we want, and then later on, you know, coming together with whomever, you know, significant other, business partner.
Gosh, and see, I don't think that far.
Yeah,
sometimes
and
I'm like,
you know, if you want to build a business, you know, the short term is like, I'm just gonna grind, do everything real fast, it's on my own.
Yeah.
But you know, if you long term, man, you need a team. You gotta go through it together.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know one person that has ever done something completely alone. Even if they say, I did this all on my own, at some point you've had help from somebody.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's like very small or, you know, something very significant. It's everybody needs help.
Yeah.
In some way. Yeah.
Yep. So true.
Yeah. So after, you're still early in your career, but I just want to know, what are you most proud of so far?
Hmm. I I want to say swim show. I want to say Hawaiʻi Swim Show is what is my baby. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm most proud of. And I think honestly that's why it's been very difficult in planning the next one, because it's such
Set the
I'm
bar high.
wow. And I think I just was so proud of myself and also my partner Taylor, because nobody really realizes what it took mentally, emotionally. We really were each other's pillars through that time. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. We did everything from the ground up, and yes, we had a lot of help, a lot of help from the community, but it was still so much work. And I think looking back on that, like, I was just very proud of what we were able to accomplish, and seeing the result was insane. Like, seeing the amount of people it touched, the amount of lives it affected, businesses, some girls' modeling careers. Like, it was amazing to even get like the messages from a lot of them saying how it affected them and how it opened their eyes to seeing what they're capable of. And so you know that it's so much more meaningful, and it wasn't about money. That was the last thing on our minds. Like, it wasn't anything other than the fact that we just wanted to do this for everyone. Yeah. So, and I think one thing that I also really keep in mind when I do things is making sure that I'm setting a good example for my sisters, and showing them that they can do whatever they set their mind to, whether it be being a professional soccer player or whatever they want to do. Like, that's kind of what I live by, is like, just, even if it seems impossible, just like whatever I set my mind to, like, I'm gonna do it. But yeah, I want to say that was definitely what I'm most proud of right now at this point in my life.
Yeah. It's awesome. You should be proud of it.
It's so weird really saying that. I mean,
no, you
because sometimes it's hard to, like, you have to remind yourself, like, yeah, like, you did a good job.
Yeah, you
know?
did that. You did that, girl. Yeah. Also, I think going to the struggle and success, I think a lot of times we show the success and we only talk about the struggles. Because it's like, we're not gonna post everything on social media. We post the outcome, right?
Our mental breakdowns.
Exactly. No, seriously. I think a lot of times that's why social media is just a highlight reel. And usually you hear about the struggles in a book.
That's why I love this. This is some
this is
real
therapy.
authentic.
This is therapy right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically you hear about the struggles in a book, in the behind the scenes stuff, and like after it's done, you're like, oh well, during this time, you saw I accomplished this, but I was also going through depression. I was also going through a breakup. I was also going through whatever it is, So it also, but it makes, it shows how resilient people are.
Yeah.
Because
good word.
We see that end result. We see the World Cup. We see the championship.
But everything that it took.
Yeah, exactly. And people won't know it, and we will never know exactly what it was like. In anybody's struggle, we can relate to it. We can be empathetic to what you're going on, but you will never know exactly how it feels to be that person. But we can all relate to a certain moment in our life that was similar to that.
Exactly.
And that's what brings us together.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, so we're coming to the end of the podcast. I want to know, what is something you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Oh gosh. Oh.
She's competing for Miss Aloha Hula next year.
Stop.
Spreading rumors.
That was actually always a goal of a
Really?
life goal of mine since I was a little girl. But
you still can do it. You have a couple more years.
No, I think it's 25.
Oh, 25 to cut off?
Sure. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure this year
it.
would be the last year. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess you got to do it.
Oh my God, how crazy. That would be insane. Wow. something nobody knows
You're a
about
good
me.
singer. I saw on your
Oh
Instagram you
gosh.
posted
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my
some
gosh.
singing videos.
Well,
Jack of all trades.
I guess that is something that not everyone knows. I'm trying to share it more. I'm open to sharing it a little bit more. I've actually always like that was kind of one of my far-fetched goals, you know, like wanting to be a singer, performer. So I guess that's kind of where like I enjoyed dancing and performing on stage in front of, you know, thousands of people, but singing, I think I've always kind of questioned my abilities. So I'm learning to appreciate it more and also just like experiment with it more. I do really enjoy singing. My family is a very I come from a family who loves music. So everybody, I mean, we used to go in the car, every car ride, we'd be like finding the harmonies with each other.
You do that
So
the scene from Step Brothers?
yeah.
Where they're in the song. It's like
yeah, but better. No. But yeah, that's something I think not too many people know about me. I was gonna get into like relationship status, but then I was like, no, maybe not. I've
It's
been
up
single
to-
for 4 years. That's something
Yeah.
nobody's really known about me. I think that honestly
your
is
girl's strong, independent woman.
yeah,
She
I
don't
mean,
need no man.
it's been a good. I feel like every woman should experience being single for a certain amount of time. I think I was able to
In your adulthood.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I was able to really learn a lot about myself during that time.
Definitely.
And yeah.
Cool. And you keep learning no
Yeah,
matter what, even if
exactly.
you're in a relationship
That's
or
true.
not. Yeah, all right. So we're coming to the end of the podcast, and before we end, I gotta know, what is your life hack? The
Okay.
moment of truth.
I'm gonna spoil a lot of your guys' hopes because my life hack is very boring. But basically it's very helpful for me because I have a to-do list that is crazy. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, wow, okay, like you really have to take it just one at a time because it's a lot. So I like post-it notes, and I'll just take post-it notes and literally put it all over like my computer, like whether on the sides or everything. Sometimes I'll even put post-it notes on my mirror, and that might just be like, you know, little cute affirmations. So I wake up to that and I'm like, okay, you know. But yeah, post-it notes and just writing down things that you need to do during the day, a to-do list, and that really helps me kind of just get through my day efficiently. And because otherwise I will get distracted and I will be like scrolling for 15 minutes. And I guess that's another life hack, is turning on your time limit, because so my parents used to do that, but now I do it to myself.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do to stay organized and just have an efficient day.
Nice. I'm a to-do list kind of guy.
Yeah.
If I don't write
Planner,
it down, it's
everything.
hard to get it done, or at least put it in my calendar. I like post-it notes too, just for grocery lists, even simple
You
stuff
gotta
like
get
that.
cute ones, like little colorful ones.
Well, I don't know. I just throw it away after. I know it's kind of wasteful, but I like physically writing it down.
Yes, no, me too.
And being able
So
to
that's
crumple
why
it
it's
up
so
and
helpful.
throw it away.
I can't put it on my phone. Like I
Yeah.
can't do. I need
I
to.
don't
write
like
it
putting it in
down.
my phone. Notes is like first stuff
That's
I just want to
why-
write down.
Exactly. Like calendar,
Yeah.
I have to have a physical one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like actual work that I'm trying to get done, I need to write it down.
Yes.
Little reminders, just things that like a phrase I want to write, or a quote, or an idea, I just write in my notes. But like
Yeah.
things you can check off.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
So life hack from Kaliʻa.
All right, so I got just like 5 rapid fire last questions for you to answer before we finish podcast. Okay. Favorite song to dance to?
Ooh, oh my gosh.
And let's do it on both genres, like hula and
okay.
alternative. I don't know what you call
Like
it.
reggaeton.
Hip-hop, whatever. Yeah.
I'll do reggaeton because
Okay.
that's what, like I dance for Latin artists.
Okay.
So okay, for reggaeton, I think my favorite dance would have to be Pepas. Pepas is a, you guys look it up, P-E-P-A-S.
Why don't you just dance for us?
No, oh my gosh.
And sing it at the same
Just
time.
go
This is
look
your
at my
moment,
posts,
right
my
there.
social
This is
media.
your moment. You can sing and dance, be the performer that you were always meant to be.
It's a crazy dance. It's like it requires so much of your like energy, and on the show days I actually have to do like flips on the stage, like
really?
across the stage before doing this dance. So it's insane. It requires a lot of energy, but that is doing that in front of thousands of people, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Awesome.
My favorite song to hula to. I think it would be I Call Him Lord. I always get really emotional. Na Palapalai, or
Yeah.
there's Na Palapalai did a version of it, but yeah, that's a really, really pretty song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I always forget that in church, some people dance hula to certain
Yes.
Christian songs, not Christian songs,
They have it in
gospel
English and
songs.
Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Forgot about that. Usually I would expect like a Hawaiian song, super Hawaiian
It's
song.
true.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. It's a refreshing answer. All right, favorite local restaurant.
Oh my God.
Where are you gonna go after this?
Ooh,
Where are you gonna go before you head back to
it
Miami?
has to be Hawaiian style.
Hawaiian style? They give choke food.
It has to be Hawaiian style. I
full
love their
Kanaka
Wailoa
attack
bowl.
after.
No, I finished that whole thing.
Yeah. I love them, yeah. Too bad Jordan's.
And then the
Jordan
Hopia
gotta come back.
pancakes.
Yeah. Yup. All that. I like their local mocos. They have all kinds. They have one, I think it's called
Lechon.
Spam
Oh
or something.
my
It's like,
God.
yes, all kinds of
Oh,
good
I'm
spam.
definitely going after this.
Portuguese
Wow.
sausage, spam, so yeah.
Whew.
Good stuff. And they give huge portions.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite TV show?
Oh, to be honest, I don't really watch too much television.
Okay, scratch that. Favorite
Wow. Book.
I don't read.
I mean, not that I don't read. I'm gonna do favorite.
Scratch
Can I do a
that.
favorite movie?
That's my next question. Favorite movie?
I do read, but normally.
Yeah, what's your favorite movie?
Okay, my favorite movie is Grease.
Grease? Oh, wow,
Yes.
nice.
All-time favorite.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, I can watch it over and over. Never gets old.
Yeah, you gotta watch.
I was Sandy for Halloween so many times.
Nice, I can see that, yeah. I think the favorite movie I watched recently is Avatar.
Oh, I didn't even get to watch that
You
yet.
gotta
I have to go watch
yeah.
it.
I mean, it's probably gonna be in theaters forever because it's so good. It's
Really?
just so magical,
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh.
Just watching it is just
The first one was
so
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 years later or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Favorite hobby to relieve stress?
That's a good one. I want to say, I do a lot of different hobbies
Okay.
to relieve stress. One of them is I just started getting into skating. So
Like,
I go roller skating.
oh, roller skating.
Yeah,
okay.
down the beach in my
Nice.
bikini, whatever it
Yeah.
is. It's
I can
super
see the
relaxing,
scene right
and it's
now.
a good, and it's a good
Little
workout. I
booty
mean,
shorts
just
and then
going.
crop top, right, with your little helmet.
Pretty much no helmet
Oh,
actually,
no helmet.
but yeah.
Mom,
Or
don't watch this.
kayaking. Kayaking is a good one, and boxing.
Oh, boxing,
yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Mhm.
Good for stamina. All right, favorite travel spot.
Oh gosh. I was really blessed to be able to go to a lot of places this year. My favorite that I've gone to so far is Costa Rica. I loved it. It actually reminded me of home in some ways.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. Somebody,
It was
one of my
beautiful.
friends was in Costa Rica a year or two ago. I don't remember, but I saw it on the story, and I thought that was Hawaii. I
Yeah,
commented like, oh wow, I
it-
thought that was over here.
and where I stayed, it was insane. You had a view of volcano Arenal, which is it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So yeah, beautiful.
Is it pretty cheap there? Because I think I
It's-
heard it's kind of
At
expensive
the resorts,
in some places. Yeah.
at the resorts, it's the same as
Okay.
here. But in like the town, it's a little bit more affordable. It's not the cheapest, but yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, that's all we have today.
Yay.
Mahalo so much for coming on.
Mahalo for having me.
Talking stories,
This is
sharing your story with
awesome.
everybody. Do you have anything else you want to share? If not, then let us know where we can find you.
No, I think that's good. Just thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Keep
Yeah.
doing what you do. I
Thank
mean,
you.
you have a lot more to accomplish.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully,
Mahalo.
I'll see you at more
Oh, and
fashion shows.
yes,
Mhm.
with shoes.
You might not have to invite me because it's hard for me to wear shoes.
Then we might have to put you to work.
Yeah, but I rather put me behind the scenes and I could do something else as long as I wear slippers.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, and feel free to reach out to me as well on my social media channels at Kaliʻa Wasson.
Can you spell that out for people?
KALIAWASSON. And yeah, I'm always open to speaking with anyone about anything. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, mahalo again for coming on, and you're gonna accomplish a lot more in life. So just everybody follow her, keep doing what you do, and I just want to say mahalo Kaliʻa for joining us on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Check us out on hawaiiverse.com, the best place to support local. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. New episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host Kamaka, and you'll hear me next time on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Ahui ho.